the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle Show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle Show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. Yeah. I just had to let you know. Yeah. Give me that work and I can sell it. I put it on the line like I ain't selfish, nah. The story flip if I let you tell it. Put my heart and soul in so you feel it. I ain't never faking, I'm the realest since Tupac in imprisonment, claiming his innocence. Currently, I'm the greatest rapper in a sense. But any currency, I'm still guaranteed my wins. This is coming from within, I stuff for real, I don't pretend. When the OG spilling knowledge, bet it's best you soak it in. I'm a prophet to them scholars, got them chakras opening. Got them fixing up their octaves, now they truly focused in. I'm seeing 2020 visions. Daily manifesting on my premonitions. Best to keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay on a mission. Coming for the top position, ain't no competition, man. Pull up in the top, it's missing, the opposition, and all that lane switching, this is what the game is. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle Show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle Show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know.
Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did. Playing skills. Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole on the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole on the wrist, I never switch.
Named for the legendary coach and co-founder of the Bengals, here's a good look at Paul Brown Stadium on the riverfront in Cincinnati. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New York Giants and the Cincinnati Bengals. The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
Ready! 60 Pittsburgh.
All day, every day.
Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. After the loss to start out, here's second and 11.
Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it. Check safety, check safety.
General West. Let's go.
Here's Murray. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6.
Go!
52's the mic, boys. 50.
From the gun, Crowder. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school, he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
They're going to be stopped up on this first down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Check. Ready?
Now Jones operating from the gun. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll make it 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here.
Hey, wahoo!
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Geno Atkins in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. On 4th down on his Logan Cook to punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. He's going to field this at the 4. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They run from the shotgun with Murray. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Croner nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
At their own 14-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
Well, you know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
50, plant. Watch QB drop. Watch QB drop. Oh! 54 now.
Jones now to throw on 3rd down. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
A great return there of 22 yards. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. An update from around the league as our first one comes from New Orleans. Early lead in that one for the Packers. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Kareem Martin came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Brings up 3rd down.
5 in the secondary now for the Giants here on 3rd. Off play action. Crowder. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Well, I was watching him in warm-ups, and he hit a 62-yarder that hit the crossbar and went over. This one a little bit inside of that, but not enough leg.
And the difference is what?
Well, your live conditions, right?
Live conditions, game conditions are a whole lot different than practice, where you just pop it up there, no rush, no pressure. I think maybe that takes a couple yards away from you when you have to do it when it's real.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
Throwing on 1st down. Jones. We'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Sean Williams brought him down.
Keep playing
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Giant football, and we're ready to begin the 2nd quarter as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming.
Ready. Check that one, Mike 52 right here. Hey, G-Lock, let's get in there. Let's get in there.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jones. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
That was a nice grab. Just couldn't get the feet down, right? You need that toe tap sequence there. Whatever size shoe he's wearing, probably need about a half size smaller to complete that one.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. Here's Jones. From the gun, he'll throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now Barkley stripped of the football, and the Bengals grab it. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations, big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
So on 4th down, on comes the Giants kicker, Aldrick Rosas. This from 44 yards away. And Rosas puts this one through. But hang on, a flag is down. Now, if it's on the defense, they might decline it and take the points. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post Because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So a special teams mistake on the field goal try leads to a new set of downs inside the red zone. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Jesse Bates made the tackle from his safety spot.
A gain of 2 brings up second.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. It's Barkley on the counter. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley, and this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line.
How about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
Yeah, he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
The Bengals take over. Let's go, let's go. At their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Let's go, defense. Go.
A shotgun handoff. This is Murray now. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Pilot, 64, weak. Hey, zoom. Get it.
From the gun on 3rd down. Croder got a man. It's Ross, complete. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. John Ross hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals have taken the lead. And this is no good. He missed it. Not a good start here in the kicking department as this remains a 6-3 score. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Jordan Willis, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's Logan Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It's taken to the 26. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And out will come the offense as they take over. Elsewhere, a score update from New Orleans. Early lead in that one for the Packers. And we'll be sure to keep an eye on that one as we go along here. On 1st and 10, Crowder eluding the pressure right. Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. He'll be dropped shy of the 40 despite powering through the tackle. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
Off the play fake. Crowder trying to lay one up deep. This is caught inside the 15. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Tyler Boyd, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bengals strike quickly here for 6 points. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
The Giants take over 1st and 10.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. The Giants on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Jones. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Lawson make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5.
Go! 18 Gator. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
On 1st down, Murray. Alec Ogletree in on the stop.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Crowder. Throw left side, complete to Ross. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short and shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. And the Bengals on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 15. Looking to throw. Crowder. And he fires one that's intercepted. Julian Love picks it. Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a quarterback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Jones on 1st and 10. Looking deep downfield. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Rosa's kick is good. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Jones, and this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. On 3rd down, Barkley. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. Defensively, they rallied the troops to force 4th down after that 7-yard pickup back on 1st. Here's Logan Cook now. He's been terrific so far. This is taken at the 18. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Bengals drive about to get going. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
5-yard gain brings up 2nd down at the 33-yard line.
Let's go now. 60 outlaw. General West.
2nd and 6. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes.
On the set.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, Crowder. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he's stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down. 4th down. Here's Matt Weil now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Now it's Tate. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now Jones on 1st down. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made. And that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Jones now, operating from the gun. Flush to his right. And that will be incomplete. A hat tip to P.J. Williams there defensively, making sure that one didn't find its target.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
They go with Murray again, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4, now 3rd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. Golden Tate's gonna go. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. 58 yards, the distance covered on the punt return. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Rosas good with the extra point. And that will tie things up at 13. All square now at 13 all as he sends this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. 2nd and 2. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
They'll run here. It's Murray. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw. Croder. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Check 50, check 50.
A toss to Murray. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Back now in Cincinnati. 13 all our score as we start quarter number 4. Back now in Cincinnati. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Got it. 52. Mike 52. Let's go, let's go.
On 3rd and 2, Crowder. He's going to go up top, and that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Colby Listenby, his 4th touchdown on the year. And they're able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. Fairbairn now to add the extra point. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
On 1st down, Jones. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
1st down, Giants.
Set up. 60 outlaw. Oh, here we go. Oh. Set up.
Here's Jones. From the gun, he'll throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Jones. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Set. 91. Watch the before. Watch the before. Get that. Look at me. Zipper.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Jones. And the pressure gets to him again. Carl Lawson in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Yep.
This is Murray. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Makes it 3rd and 4.
Set, ready? 18, Gator. Check. Hey, Charlie. 52, white, go.
Looking to throw. Croner flushed out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The sack coming from big Dalvin Tomlinson.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On the return, it's Tate. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome. This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 11 yards there, 1st down. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here. And he's got room. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 11th touchdown of the year, as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good, and we are tied here in the 4th quarter. Fitting for what's been a tight ball game. We're all even at 20 now as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And thee coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Following the penalty, it's Murray. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And they're facing a big third down now in this tie ball game. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up fourth down. Tie game, fourth quarter, and they're going for this thing on fourth down.
Hey, you're on an island over there. You're
on fourth down, Crowder. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this defense will take over right at midfield. Boy, an incredibly aggressive move to go for it there. Game tied fourth quarter. You got to be surprised.
I am, and I know that we're in a new era of football where we look at the analytics sometimes, and a lot of time the analytics tell you to go for it, right? But do the analytics take into account the game situation, where we are, all those things? In this situation, I thought it was an incredibly aggressive play.
It didn't work out, and again, tie game fourth quarter makes this thing a little bit more interesting. He'll get 15 and a Giants first down. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Now Saquon Barkley. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Jones fakes the give to Barkley. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And they'll turn to a power game to try to get in. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
Let's go. 60 Pittsburgh. We ain't giving up nothing. Jump. 61. Matchbox right. Ready?
And Barkley will try to punch it in. And he is in. Touchdown, Giants. Saquon Barkley. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And they are able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. PAT up and good by Rosas. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now, after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. they go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. On 4th down, Croner. He's got his man, Boyd. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Off play action. Crowder. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Boyd.
Crowder's pass. Complete to Tyler Boyd.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down.
It's 2nd and 10.
Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Giants, it's a 2nd win now as they move to 2-10 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Big D to take on the Cowboys. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, the playoffs look to be out of reach now as they drop to 4-8. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.